21. Sorry, I was disconnected last time. So after the p-value and the test, p-value 0.008, they wanted to talk about the significance. So obviously p-value is less than alpha, because alpha is 5%, so you would reject H0 and conclude HA. And the results, of course, significant. And conclusion in English, if assumptions hold, %5 level of significance, we can conclude HA. And again, HA, we say what that is in words. We can conclude that final exam increases when midterm 1 increases by, midterm 3 increases. Whatever we had in the definition of B3. The next question up after this would midterm 2 and midterm 3 also do the same thing? Like, what if you have to test, instead of midterm 3, midterm 2 and 1? Would the results be the same? And they didn't want it to be in full sentences, but just talk about it briefly. In this case, you would look at the p-value here, and both p-values were 0. So both p-values are less than alpha, so you would conclude that yes, you would have the same conclusion. Because anytime your p-value is less than 5%, the conclusion would be yes, there is an effect. One increases, the other increases. Okay. In the next question, they wanted you to calculate 95% confidence interval for slope of mid 3 and interpret what it means. The formula is you take B3 plus or minus T star and SE of B3. Let's talk about T star first. You know that we have to get it from the T table. It's 95% confidence interval, no problem. But we need degrees of freedom. Degree freedom for multiple regression would be n minus k minus 1. What is k? Well, first of all, there are 25 students, so n is 25. K would be, how many x's do you have? Number of x's in the equation. In this case would be 3. So this number of x's in the equation. So that would give you a degree freedom of 21. You go to the T table, You look up degree freedom 21 and 95%, and you'll see that this would be 2.08. So for B3, you take the coefficient, which is 1.167208. SE would be the number just right next to it. Next to the B3 would be an SE number. And if you look at the Minitab, this is 0.103. 208, 103, so you have 1.67 plus or minus 21424, and you know, you minus them, you add them. That's 953. That's 1381. Now to interpret the meaning of this, you say if assumptions hold, we are 95% confident that as midterm 3 increases by 1 unit, the mean final exam grade will increase between, you put the two numbers 953 and 1381, following mid 1 and mid 3 for all students in the past 5 years in this professor's class. Okay. And the next question was, can you predict the final exam for a student whose midterm 1 is 70, midterm 2 75, and midterm 3 80? Since they want you to predict, you put it in the equation. Final exam 434, 356, and for midterm 1 you plug 70, 543, and for midterm 2 you plug 75, and for midterm 3 you put 80. And they tell you at the beginning of the question that the final exam was out of 200. So you expect the number to be close or less, a little bit less than 200. 356, you plug 70, 543, 75, 1.16780, and the score for this student is 154665. So when they say predict, you just put the equation in the formula. Now the last thing in this assignment was to talk about the two confidence intervals, the prediction. So talk about the confidence interval and the prediction interval. Again, for the students with mid-1, 70, 75, 80. 70, 75, 80. You go to Minitab, you'll see something in Minitab in one of the table called confidence interval, and both of them at 95%. This one is 152,708, 156,620, and you'll see it, and on top of it will say confidence interval. And the prediction also, you'll see it with prediction interval on top of it, and that's 148, 160. Interpretation, you say, for the confidence interval, if assumptions hold, we are 95% confident that the population of all students in the past 5 years in this professor's class with midterm 1 grade of 70, midterm 2 grade of 75, and midterm 3 grade of 80. The mean final exam will be between, and you put the two numbers, 152,708, 156,620. So, the way we interpret the confidence interval, assumptions hold, we're 95% confident that the population of all, whatever the sample is, with midterm 1 result, midterm 2, midterm 3 will be between the two numbers. For prediction, we say assumptions hold. We predict with 95% confidence that the actual final exam grade for a randomly selected student in the past 5 years in this professor class with mid-1 results 70, midterm 75, mid-3 of 80 will be between, and you put the two numbers. So in interpreting the prediction, you say, again, assumptions hold. We predict with 95% that if that the final exam for a randomly selected sample student in the past 5 years in this professor's class with midterm 1, 2, 3 with the results will be between, and you put the two numbers. Now, this is it for assignment 8. Please make sure that you review it. You look at the way I wrote the answers. If I missed anything, add it. And after you watch the videos for assignments 7 and 8 and for the other assignments as well, attempt your exam either tonight or tomorrow night. And once you're happy with your answers, send them to me. I'll have a look at them and I'll make any corrections or any suggestions if necessary. And hopefully everything will go well. Good luck.